The room was decorated with gold on the edges of the room with a wide space for at least 7 people to live. The boy appears to be about 8 years old with silver hair, cubby cheeks, and a cute face. No doubt the boy would surely grow up to be quite the looker. Damn it, it hurts. Why does it feels like my mind is exploding? What's happening? Wow. Must have drunk a lot last night. Trying to stand up, the boy fails and falls back. While laying down, questing himself, the boy notices a certain characteristic that he had failed to notice before, that is, everything looks big. Suddenly a certain thought enters his mind, a concept which was extremely popular among light novels and web novels. No, it can't be real. It's not possible. Ding. Scanning completed. The system joyfully said, not knowing that these words had destroyed the building hope within his host. So I died. Host died after returning from shopping. Host got caught between a shooting scene and got hit with a bullet. The memories of it are removed as to avoid psychological problems for the host. Warning, warning. Activating emergency cooldown procedures. Host, you might have died, but now you have the chance to write your future again. Please calm down. Take deep breaths. Host, parents are all right. They were at your funeral, and your parents did fall into depression, but they will launch back. Give me some time alone to think. Hey, system, I am now ready. Could you tell me why I can't move? Yes, host, we can start. Currently, the host soul is being connected to the current body. Since there is a mismatch of your soul and body, it might take some time to integrate. How long will the normal route take? So what you are basically telling me is that I have to take the shock, right? How are these even options? Sure, give those shocks. Damn it. Hey, system, why don't you come in front of me so that I can thank you? Grumbling to himself, the boy raises himself from the ground and takes a look around. Host, better take a seat before I start. The host is currently in the world of ether from Arisen on Sense. Hello, everyone, so please enjoy. How is that possible? Well, what's going on? Are you saying that I am in the game Arisen on Sense? Arisen on Sense. Ether, these words, how could I not know them? /n. The name of the game and everything about it is fictional. I am not taking it from anything existing, and if they do, I have no idea about it, and I truly do not know. What had set this game different from others was how hard it was to capture the girl's heart. Each character felt like it had its own life. The more you progress, the more hard it gets, as you had to work hard to keep your harem afloat. As a man of culture, I had also played the game. Secretly, that is. So what you're basically saying is I was reborn in the game. But why? Well, host, to start with, this is your game world, but real. There will be no second chances, no restarts, and no retreats. God of games? Are you saying that a god gave me this chance? Why? Wait, not free, what do you mean? Main quest initiated. Reward. Getting to freely live in this world. That I was D up. One must know that the game was almost similar to reality, where only you could know the result after the action. As an Eroge, the game had the Tizendir, the sadist, the masochist, the Kaderi, and the Yandere. Remembering the look of the women who was manically laughing after proclaiming him, only hers caused a tremble up my spine. Host might not know this, but as the god of game, it is his responsibility to play all the release games and to completely conquer it. Correct, host. As the chosen individual, you must conquer each of the targets, while making the main hero life tougher. So basically, I should take all the women's for myself, while making the protagonist a bachelor. Each of the capture targets either have immense background, power, or beauty, who won't settle for just any Tom, Dick, or Harry. Can you at least tell me who I am right now? Austin Lionheart, a name that every player who has played Arisen on Sense will know, a person for who even I felt pity for in the game. Having looks that made even the protagonist jealous, and someone who hid and behaved like a girl. He was said to have talents in combat, but due to suffering a trauma at a young age, he became afraid of fights. Also, the Empress was so excessively attached to him that she burned herself along with him, so that they could be together in death. Remembering the scene of how Austin was screaming in despair on how he was being burned with the Empress makes my body go cold. Yup, it's SM alright. Although young, I could still tell the characteristic of his handsome face of the future. Wait, take deep breath. The other things are only going to take place, so the attraction of the Empress must have not happened till now. Host, as you enter monologue over. It's just that I have yet to transfer you current body's memories to you. So could you prepare yourself? It's as only then did I realize that I didn't have any of the past memories of this body. Giving a nod, I walked towards my bed and lay down. Suddenly a mild pain comes to my mind, and I start to see some images like a movie. They pass through my mind. I closed my eyes and started to integrate with the memories. Austen Lionheart, blonde hair that falls to her shoulder, green eyes that shine like gems, a plump lips along with a motherly aura. Grace looked towards her child, and for a moment she felt that her child felt different, like a stranger. Does she know? No, maybe she felt something was different. I really need to get my act together. Little Osti, are you all right? I got scared when you suddenly fainted. I started to look through my memory and found out that I had fainted during my breakfast, placing my hands on my mother's breast by accident. To pull myself up, I looked towards my mother, and smiling, I said, "Then it's all good. I had a healer check up on you, and she said that you're all right." After the loud shout, two girls walked in my room, one a 10-year-old and the other a 6-year-old, and I know the one who had spoken now. Nora Lionheart, being one of the important capture targets, she was blessed with beauty, strength, and background. That person is now standing in front of me. It really is a surreal experience. I always wondered why people would buy figurines of theater interest. Now I can understand why. It really is exciting to have a figure of your imagination in front of you. Elda Lionheart, inheriting my father's hair and mother eyes. She is one of the important pieces in making Nora fall in love with you. You can take Elda as your lover if you are capable of keeping it a secret from her big sister, or if you have a certain taste for, well, lolies. My sister said, staring at me like a weakling. Staring at her like a scared kid, I dived deeper into my mother's breast, fearfully, seeing her son hug her tighter. Grace didn't think much of it. Who would think that an 8-year-old will be having the soul of a 22-year-old man? Hearing her mother reproach her, she clicked her tongue and looked away, and while I was enjoying this smooth land of pillows, a notification hit me. Capture targets detected. Does host want to activate read function? Oh, then activate it. Age: 10 titles. None description. Even though you are her brother, she has a small dislike for you born from her father's death, and your wimpy attitude infuriates her. Reading this, I got a basic idea of how she thinks of me, and I get that she thinks I am partly responsible for that incident, so Nora always had a grudge at him for it. Looks like the kid became like this because of his low esteem. Then I looked towards my little sister. Age: 6 title. None description. Wants to get close to her big brother, but doesn't know how. Looks a bit down on you due to your wimpy side. Difficulty: B+. She is a child. If you play your cards right, she's yours. Lastly, I looked towards my mother name. Grace Lionheart, talent 9/10, love 100%. A mother's love is always max. Currently in mild depression and sleep loss difficulty. S. Come on, she's your mother. How hard do you think it is you make her see you as a man? After checking upon me, my family choose to leave me to rest, which I asked for, and my little sister approached me. Before everyone left, big brother, I hope you get well soon. Surprised from my sudden act of intimacy, which was out of my character, she was first surprised, but after that she smiled shyly and ran away. Whatever happens from now, I will deal with it then. Wake up, young master. I see. So it wasn't a dream, huh? So her name is Mia, and she was assigned to be my maid till my personal servant was determined. Good morning, Mia. Giving her the signal, I was led to the bathroom, where I was cleaned, rinsed, and dressed up. It was at that time that I understood how big the mansion I lived in really was. Each and every corner screamed luxury. Guess this is what you get when you are the sister of the emperor. My mother and little sister smiled at me while my big sister pouted and looked away. I thought I took my seat and started my breakfast, but damn, it was really taste. It was nothing like what I had ever eaten. The food just melted in my mouth. While being a noble and all sound good, but it comes with its own responsibility. Kids had to start focusing and studying from a young age. Before my little sis left, I asked her to free her timing in the evening so she could play with me. Though surprised, she readily agreed. Since she's only 6, she doesn't have a lot to learn. For hours later, looks like the knowledge I know is similar to the worlds they created, the Sylvia realm and the Sylvie realm. We have the Sylvia realm, which currently contains several countries and 2 empires, alongside the elves, beastmen, and dwarfs. A large quantity of the world's money flow through them. Several businesses and banks are being controlled by them. Why, you ask? We got money, we got land, and we are in prosperity. They don't intervene in worldly matters, and they make sure that the peace stay, and hence the elves receive the protection and support. No one was there that could stop them. I changed human realm to Sylvia realm and demon realm to Sylvie realm asterisk 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 asterisk. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Asterisk 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 asterisk. Main clans are the Tiger tribe, the Cat tribe. Unlike the Elves, the Beastmen are more inclined towards close combat than magic, though they use magic in combat. After that we have the Dwarves. They actually don't have their own country, but a city known to be impenetrable to all. Built with high metal walls and technology, the city is literally impenetrable. Another thing about the dwarves is that they own about 56% of the world's weapon production. That was what the other races had thought, but the humans took their weakness as strength and expanded their ways. Humans also has their own share of extraordinary experts and powers. Currently, there are 2 human empires and other human countries surrounding it. Both the empires are equal in strength. Like the country of Angria, which completely focuses on magic, it is said that even the commoners there knows basic magic. This is because the Sylvie realm and the Sylvia realm are not exactly on the same plane. The realm containing humans, elves, beastmen, and dwarves was made by the goddess Sylvia, and the demon realm by the goddess Sylvie. The Ephith Empire is ruled by the Ephith demons, and the Olane Empire is ruled by the Olane demons, a great aquatic empire ruled by both the mermaid and whale tribes. Unlike what people would expect, there is no large-rate war or dislike between the races. In fact, they live in harmony, where different races live with each other. Well, except for me who had played the game, there was a hidden quest to be completed, and I had found the reason, but goddess Sylvia just wanted to let her creations as they are, with no interactions. Yes, host, the support system, black_small_square, shop, black_small_square. Notepad. Looking at the given choices, a few doubts arose in my mind. It's as the name implies, you can check into the information and buy certain information at a certain price. Damn, that god is quite vengeful. Age, 8 looks, 9 out of 10. Not bad, you can live with just your looks. Note, hidden bloodline locked, partners conquered, none. Maybe you didn't awaken it. Bloodlines can either be a curse or a blessing. That's because not all bloodlines are good or helpful. Some might even cause harm. Some people live all their life without knowing they pose as a bloodline. Hump, what a stingy system you are. Combat shop. Description. The Great Darkness Priest was actually a closet pervert who loved sex. Hence, in order to prevent problems, he had created this spell, which uses darkness to avoid pregnancy. Spell. Light that spreads uses. Make the most sterile of women pregnant. A divine spell to all the infertile men's spell. The Eyes of Truth uses. The spell covers the eyes to see the sexual or exiting spots of women's. Use it to make even the most cold-faced women come like a bitch. Along with these, there were several other spells which had left me flustered. These were really useful spell, especially for me. Description. A mystical item of the low hairs, used to remove the impurities within the body. Description. An amazing item created by the Omrian tribes, said to make the body stronger and create an unshakable foundation. While I was examining my options, the door to the library opens, and my maid Mia enters. Sure, let's go. Also say to my sister that we can have lunch together today. A few minutes later, I was situated in the dining hall with my sister across me. Seeing her, I was quite unsure on how to begin. Then when I saw what was severed for lunch, it was lamb-based, and then an idea hit me. Take my seat towards my sister. I will cut and feed her lamb for her today. Now I was seated near my very surprised sister, who was looking at like I was some kind of alien. Chuckling, I patted her head. Plus 50 affection. Age. 6 title. None love. 67%. Sibling love. Desires to play with her big brother. This is good. Looks like I can use her to experiment. Plus 25 affection. And as I continued to feed her, the more points I started to rack in. She was like an ATM that gave money, and I was the recipient who needed it dearly. Then it suddenly hit me. She was feeling lonely, having a mother diving into her job, a big sister fully busy with her schedule. She didn't have anybody to play with. Looking into the green eyes of my sister, I tenderly took a napkin and cleaned her face. After lunch, I took my little sister around to play. We played many games, while I told her about the stories and funny jokes from Earth. By the end, I had racked a great amount of points. Name: Elda Lionheart. Talent: 9/10 power. Null description: wants to get close to her big brother, but doesn't know how. Looks a bit down on you due to your wimpy side. Due to my constant efforts, I have managed to rise her affection towards me quite a lot. Name: Elda Lionheart. Talent: 9/10 power. Null description: wants to get close to her big brother, but doesn't know how. Looks a bit down on you due to your wimpy side. Teary-eyed and indignant, I screamed, "You don't have to worry about me, mother. I have decided to change for the better. I don't want to burden you." I tried my best to play the character of an innocent boy who had began to change, and immaturely he dreams of helping his mother. Unlike Elda, I can't just spoon-feed her and expect her to start gloating all over me. If she lets me spoon-feed her, that is sigh. If only I could have some support. Well, she's a kid after all. She might throw tantrums. Right now I was planning on how I can conquer the mature Nora, not the kid Nora in the game. The story only officially starts in the school arc where she was 20 years old. The Babylon Imperial Academy, created by all the races and located in the Babylon City. Being the most popular and greatest city in the world, the school normal starts for 14-year-old kids and lasts for 10 years. Speak of the devil, and the devil shall come smirking. I asked Mia to lead the way. Walking towards my elder sister's location, I started revising some of my earlier made plans. While I entered, she looked towards me. The normal Austin might have flinched and looked away, but I looked directly into her eyes and confidently strolled into the room. While my big sis was musing to herself, I sat next to her and started drinking my tea. For a moment, a strange silence lingered between us. As the tension had started to make the maids uncomfortable, my sister made her move. "I see, that's good. Why don't we play some chess?" "Sure, I have some time before my next class." As our game began, I started my plan. I made the first move along with my words, and she flinched when she heard my words, and her piece almost fell. I placed my next move. Thud. "Big sister, I know father's death hit you very badly. I know you hid the pain behind that external appearance of yours." I made my move, my sister trying best to maintain her expression. She made a move, this time her hands trembling. "Thud. Let it all out, sis. Don't hide it. Everyone is there with you. I love you." She made her move. Checkmate. She clutched my shirt and started brawling out in an intense cry. Her body shivered, and she let out all the grievances she faced, all this while her suffering her unwillingness. Plus 30,000 affection, she lived her life, suppressing her pain and playing out the character of a strong girl. Without anybody to openly talk about, her pain doubled. "Are you okay?" She was holding her head down. Her eyes closed and her whole face was red in embarrassment like a tomato. Her lips pursed. She looked so adorable that I wanted to give her a bite. "You look so cute right now, sis." Laughing, I stood up and started walking to my eldest sister's room, that is, Nora's POV. "Art, what did you do, Nora? Why did you cry in front of your little brother? He's going to think you're a crybaby." Remembering those words, my face starts to heat up. How can he say such words to his sister? I closed my eyes and started to remember what had really happened now. I had heard rumors that my brother had started to change recently. But then looking at his silver hair and purple eyes just like father's, I threw that notion away. Whenever I see him, father's image always comes to my mind, but I knew that was a dream and that I was just using my brother to vent my pain and frustration. In all honesty, I wanted to go up to him and apologize for everything and say that I was sorry. While I was reeling in my emotions, I heard a knock on my door, and then a voice from whom I ran away was heard. Silence. Silence. While I was thinking, I walked towards the door, hesitating whether I should open it or not. I really didn't know how to face him. I bit my lips hearing his words. My heart felt happiness and sourness at once. "You crying does not change that, nor what you do in the future. You will always be my great big sister. I will wait for you as we are a family." A tear fell down my face, this time not of sadness, but of happiness. I hummed merrily while I headed towards my room. My plan had gone better than I thought. Looks like I can start the other plans. A starting pack gift. Why am I only getting it now? Raising an eyebrow to that answer, I decided to open it once I get to my room. While I reached there, I saw a 6-year-old silver-haired girl standing there pouting. Looking at me with her pouting face, Ahe expressed her indignation. Smiling, I poked her cheeks after a bit of pampering her. She finally started to smile. To make it up to her, I suggested something. If big brother wants, then I have no problem. After entering my room, I closed the door and sat on my bed. Command accepted. Opening gift pack. 1%, 30%. Complete. This is a slot machine host. Host has to pull the lever to get his reward. It can be anything depending on the host's luck. Signed to myself, I thought of getting rid of the issue now itself and pulled the lever. The image on the machine started rotating. Congratulations. The host has got the special gift, the perfect body. Name. The perfect body description. The perfect body grants your body the most purest of mana. It makes it so that your stamina is endless. Your body itself will be the very definition of perfect. Never run out of your own come drawback. It will take 9 years for your body to be molded to perfection. During that time, you are not allowed to lose your virginity. I don't know if my luck is good or bad, but having the power greater than anyone at your own level is really tempting. But to hold myself back till I am 17 years old is indeed a drawback. In this world, there are many paths from which you can choose from. We have the magicians, the witches, the knights, etc. But the main way in which one can guess another's power is by tiers. There are many different levels. From there onwards, you can display your true strength. After that, it's each called. Once you are in origin level 10, you can said to be a powerhouse, for whom even the emperor has to give respect. After origin level 10, there is the Imperials. They are people who have passed the level 10 by mastering certain laws. Command heard. Starting initiation in 1, 2, 3. Started. The perfect body building has started. The host is required to follow the given rules. Elda currently looked just like a fairy, untouched by the mortal world, who would evoke protective feelings from anybody. What else can I do when my little sister looks cute as a fairy? Reaching my bed, I placed her lightly on the bed, but she refused to let me go out of embarrassment. After a few minutes, she relaxed and let me go, though she was still a bit out of it. My actions together must have fried her head as she stared at me with a lost expression. I can swear that if this was an anime, there would be steam coming out of her head. I patted her back to calm her down as I whispered. Plus 500 affection, slowly putting her to sleep by patting her back. I too fell into my slumber. The last thought on my mind was, hey guys, hope you guys accept it. Smiling _face _ halo. Checkmate again, sis. How can you always win against me? I'm the older one here. You know what this means, right? Her answer furthered my smile. When me and my sis had played for the second time, I had asked her to keep a bet. A simple one. The loser will do one thing the winner wants. How about you give me a massage, sis? After making fun my sis a bit, I head towards my room. I got something important to do today. Entering my room and giving the command that no one can enter it, I open the shop. Description: an amazing item created by the Omrian tribes, said to make the body stronger and create an unshakable foundation. Normally, it's only when you're 10-year-old when your foundation or your plate is created, you can start cultivating your power. After that, I take a look at my system name. Austin Lionheart, age 8, power, no looks, 9 out of 10. Not bad. You can live with just your looks. Note: hidden bloodline locked. System: I want to buy the founder. Do you wish to buy the founder? System: am I to drink this? What else can I do other than trust the system? Shaking the container a bit, I opened it. Unlike what I expected, there was no smell. Praying to all the gods I can think of, I take the container and in one sip took it all in. Waiting for something to happen, I brace myself. But even after a few minutes, nothing happened. As I said before, host must take a rest, and during your sleep the portion will readily build your foundation for you. Name: Elda Lionheart, age 6, talent 9/10, title none, description: changing her perception of you, difficulty B+. She's a child. If you play your cards right, she's yours. Name: Nora Lionheart, age 10, talent 10/10, title none, description: your new character impressed her, difficulty AA+. You are her brother. The difficulty of making her love you as a man is extremely difficult. Name: Grace Lionheart, age 33, talent 9/10, title Princess of the Battlefield, the Red Rose, description: love you no matter what. Her heart pains because of her broken family. I woke up after a few hours of sleep, and I could instantly tell the difference. I could feel a certain particles in the air floating. Closing my eyes, I tried to focus inside my body, and in the area where a small structure was first seen now had a completed plate floating majestically. That aside, I could feel the power residing in my body. I was tempted to start cultivating, but the first time you're moving mana, it should be done under supervision for safety. If it weren't for her being a powerful warrior, she would have long since fainted. Speaking of which, I started to remember the background of my mother. It's how my parents met. My father was a commander, though not much in strength. He was said to be a genius in leading the army. Grace looked towards her child, who looked all the same, but different. At first, she was really worried about him. Due to the incident with her husband, her child had started to form an introverted personality. But she just didn't have any time to deal with it due to her work, and she was deeply guilty about it too. But her son had come up to the task, and did it for her. Sigh. I really need to spend more time with my kids. Mom, is something the problem? You seem deep in your thought. No, I am fine, Osti. It's just that your mother's just feeling a bit sleepy, that's all. No need to worry. Saying so, I gave her a kiss on the cheek and began patting her head like an adult consoling a child. My actions brought a small smile to her face, and she ended up laughing, and a tear rolled down her cheek. H.A. So my little Osti is consoling his mother. Huh? No, Mom, I was just cheering you up because you looked so down after that. Me and my mother continued talking for some time, and after a few minutes, she asked the reason why I wanted to see her, and I expressed to her my desire to go out to get fresh air, to which she instantly agreed. As the head city of the Dukedom, our city was porched to say the least. The noble district which displayed elegance like no other. The buildings resembling modern times rather than old. The world of ether ain't that behind in technology, though no cars, phones, planes, etc. The world is indeed well developed. They were like a pack of chickens standing there to take a look at their idol or something. Play my child persona. Oh, that, it's just a bow shop that was currently set up. Well, young master, it is said that the owner is a very beautiful woman. So many men come and visit here. My innocent eyes directly looking into Mia's. My question stumped her a bit. She didn't know how to respond. Leading my guards, we pushed to enter the shop. Getting inside it, I marvel at how the shop is much different inside than the outside. Interior well decorated with different kinds of bow hanging on the walls. Despite covering her face, her phoenix-like eyes and her ethereal aura gives her a strange atmosphere, as if she doesn't belong to this world. Seeing her, I used the read function. Sex, female species, human power, imperial rank 3 love. 0% feeling a bit dispirited that she hasn't found anyone till now. I found you before her. The uses of bow were only used in army and large-scale wars. Nobody took the bow as an individual weapon for combat, due to its low battle efficiency. Taking her bow, she embarked on a journey as an adventurer, creating many legends along the way. She had created her path of the bow, completely changing people's perception of it. Wow, this bow is amazing. Mia, I am definitely going to be an archer in the future. Bows are amazing. After that, I stated, going around each bow, touching it and using it as if I am totally obsessed with it while keeping a discreet eye on the bow empress. Plus 12 affection, she was giving out small levels of affection at a time. After a few minutes, she finally made her move. Finally, the bow empress spoke. Her voice was sweet and melodious. Stopping my actions, I looked towards her. Plus 20 affection so that I can protect my family. Plus 25 affection so that I can always have their back, and if it ever comes to it, use myself to provide them protection. After a few seconds, Eleanor placed the book down from her hands and looked deeply into me, and when she did, I could see that her cool expression was soon replaced with deep shock. What Austin didn't know is that while it is indeed rare to have foundation before 10 years age, but his foundation wasn't anything like that. Not only was his foundation unnaturally strong, he was a tier 3. After some time, she calmed down. In the end, she was an imperial. She had seen many things others hasn't, so she was able to reel herself back. Quickly, looks like I found my choice. Oh, finally you asked me. I was scared that something went wrong. I asked, anticipating. Young master, don't listen to this woman. We don't know who she is. I nodded to her question. The guards were clearly angered by her remarks, and just as when a battle was about to erupt, I jumped in front of them and blocked it. Young master, move away. This woman might be dangerous. No need to fight. This big sister doesn't seem like a bad person. I am sorry for causing the commotion. Don't worry about it. This big sister is not mad. Tisk, women. Young master, where do you want to go now? Looking towards a certain area while smiling inwardly, I replied right now. I was happily walking through the city humming. How could I not? I just got myself an Imperial as a teacher. In the game, it was some boy from a village that had got the chance to be the Bao Empress's disciple. So I have no worry of not having talent in the Bao. Plus, there was deeper reason to why I choose the Bao to. Leaving all that aside now, I am walking through the less popular area of the city. The city itself was very huge in size, and now I was in a crowded area with lots of people moving around. Don't worry, Mia. I just want to have a taste of the commoner's food. It's just as in the game opening the door, I entered inside. The first thing I saw was the gathering of men inside, eating their foods like their life depended on it. Sex, male species, human power, origin level 10 love, 0% loves to eat different exotic food. So that's him in real life. How he is 103 years old and looks like an old man, while Eleanor being in her 145 and still looks like she is in her 20s. That tells you the difference between the origin level and an Imperial. The reason I came here was to make him teach me cooking. There is a hidden quest to be completed when you meet Richards. Once you learn cooking from him, and if he is satisfied, he might give you something which might turn out to be a treasure for you. After 10 minutes, our food was served. It was a simple food with rice, bread, and soups. Taking the soup, I scooped it a bit and put it in my mouth. My eyes widened as a large amount of flavors explode in my mouth, and I had to be careful not to swallow my tongue. Amazing! This is better than the chefs at our mansion. Grandpa, were you the one who made this food? Yes, I was the one. Why do you want to know, kid? Then can you teach me how to cook? Don't worry, Mia. I just want him to teach me cooking. His food is better than the ones the chef makes back home. Boy, why do you want to learn to cook for your mother? I innocently explained my ambition. Mia teary-eyed looked at me, as if I couldn't get any cuter. My answer brought Richard to daze. For a moment, I shook my head. H.A. I happily smiled to that answer. I nodded to his answer and happily started going home without any worries, not knowing that the wheels of fate started to change. Thinking about my husband Austin comes to mind. That boy, he has grown a lot these days. Thinking about him, I remember the report given about his trip outside. They are growing up so fast without me even knowing. While I was in my thought, I suddenly felt a presence in my room. I jumped up from my seat and started creating a shield. A person capable of entering my room without my knowledge is not at all simple. I suddenly felt a dreadful feeling, as if the world was pressing onto me. As a person who had been to the battlefield, I can at once say that I am not at all her match. What does an esteemed Imperial want from me? Don't be still, I am not here to kill you, or anything. What? An Imperial wants to take my son as a disciple. Being the disciple of an Imperial is basically a rise to the life of a king. It means that you have a chance of becoming an Imperial yourself while receiving the protection of an Imperial. Imperials don't just simply take disciples, there had to be something special about them. Just what is so special about her son? Instead of answering me, she looked me up and down with a questioning gaze. That your son has finished his foundation, that he's reached tier 3, and that his plate is rank 10. Looks like I haven't been sleeping well. I am starting to hear things nowadays, too. Just when did her child become such a monster? To think my son was such a talent, and I didn't know about it. Am I such a bad mother? So does the Bao Empress think my son has the talent to inherit her Bao? I have no problem with you being Austin's teacher, but Austin has to agree to it. With that, she disappeared from in front of me. It's only then that I could take a deep breath to calm myself, and then I noticed that I was covered with sweat. Right now I am feeding my little sister and filling in my daily dose of affection points while planning my next move. Suddenly I felt a pull on my shirt and looked down and saw my sister looking at me. Sure, why not? It was during this time that I got a summons from my mother. So I headed towards her. Entering the room, there was another person. Yup, it's Eleanor. What is it, mother? Saying so, she pointed at Eleanor, who was seated in a chair. Surprised, I responded, I am pretty sure that I saw my mother's lips twitch when I called her big sis. I turned to my mother confused, as if couldn't understand what she was saying to me. Mother asked. I shook my head. What? Good, looks like my disciple knows respect. If you be my disciple, of course I will teach you. Good, then from tomorrow onwards I will be your teacher. Reaching the shop, I saw that it was closed. Just I was about to knock, I felt a sudden dizzy feeling, and the next moment I know I am inside the shop seated across my master. He looks just as exited as me when I started. No need, I ate and came. After that I explained to her the basic idea, I know, and she nodded. I blushed to her words as if happy and embarrassed about it. So you can feel it. Austin, do you know that you currently have a plate? That it's tier 3 and rank 10? I shouted in surprise. Real this time, Master, is there a rank for plates? It's normally from rank 1 to rank 10, with rank 1 being the lowest and rank 10 being the highest. The rank 7 and above plates are termed as geniuses. Master, does that mean I am strong? Silence. System's duties is only to support, not to warn and protect the host. What Austin didn't know was that it wasn't much of a problem, and it was easy to settle to, but Eleanor wanted to see how he would react to death, and seeing him so composed impressed, and made her curious. Putting on my serious face, I directly looked into her eyes. My father gave his life to protect mine. He only had one wish, that was for me to protect my family, and I plan to do that. So no matter what comes, I will survive it. Looking at my master, I saw a deeply surprised face on hers, contradicting to her normal, graceful self. Suddenly, I felt a pull on me, and the next moment I was in her embrace. An unique orchid smell entered my nose. Ah, what a pitiful child. Don't worry, Master would protect you and make sure you're strong. Such a pitiful child, Master is there for you. If you look a teacher like that, then I can't help but pamper you. Then suddenly I again felt the same pull, and when I opened my eyes, I was in a forest near a cliff. Eleanor then puts me down. After your warm-up, your task will be to climb the mountain after that. When you reach the top, we can start the real training. After my question, she hesitated a bit, but then later she nodded, seeing that I took action like this, as it was only 2 months later that I reached the top. Standing above it and seeing the rising sun, I gave it out a huge scream of accomplishment. And like that, a few years later, this huge cliff disappeared from this world. No one knows how. Name: Eleanor Claus. Age: 140. Talent: 10/10. Title: The Bow Empress, Cold Beauty, the Imperial, etc. Awakening a certain dangerous tendency. Currently, a woman was walking through the corridors of the mansion. She had blonde hair and green eyes. Mia had entered her room and said that Austin had something important to say, and I had to head there. She said that it was urgent. I could see changes in him too. He had become a little taller, proactive, and more confident, plus his sisters are being more attached to him. To me, mine goes back to half a month ago when he came to me saying that there was a salve trading going on in the dukedom. Naturally, I didn't believe him at first, but then he showed me all this proof, and I had to make a move. The human girl became his personal maid, and the other twin Fox tribe girls became his personal soldier attendant. Happy birthday. I see it was my birthday today, and my children's remembered. Oh, why's my face wet? It was Austin. He was the one who said about it to us. He said that we could give Mom a surprise, but it was Big Sis who had arranged it all. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be able to do this. Also, Elda helped out a lot too. I turned towards Austin, who had a smile on his face. I couldn't help but pull him to a tight hug. That went better than I thought. During my inner monologue, a girlish voice enters my ears. Turning my head, I saw a girl of 8 years with brown hair and black eyes in a maid costume, looking at me in utmost devotion. She had a cute nose and an average face. Sex: female species. Human/demon, bloodline, unawakened. Title: None. Description: completely devoted to you, has an intense desire to make herself better. Clara, one of the girls I had managed to win over. She was not a capture target, but an important person in the story as a part of the villain faction. That is, she had an intense hatred to my dukedom because she had been sold as a slave here and had been violated a lot. In the game, she tries a lot to kill me or my sisters. The issue of the slavery had been found out later in the game, causing many reputation damage to the dukedom. So I nipped the problem in the bud and got myself 3 powerful followers. They both look same except for the white-haired fox girl being shy and the other one being extremely straightforward. Sex: female species. White wolf beast women. Title: None. Description: her feelings for you continue to rise. Difficulty: no need, bro, she's yours. Sex: female species. Black wolf beast woman. Power: null. Description: as a person whose personality was falling, your words had rekindled her hope. Difficulty: dude, how much do you two want her to fall? It wasn't hard to raise their love. Give the inferiority complex Clara a buttload of compliments, responsibilities, trust, and love. Then she's yours. Together, they were a very strong team, not to be pissed off, but right now, they lack confidence and hope, so I just gave them that. And so, I got theme. A few days has passed since my mother's birthday. Currently, I am with my master learning how to move my mana through my body. I did as she requested, and could feel small amount of mana forming in my fingertips, which formed into a small red flame. It did not burn my hand, instead it brought a feeling of warmth. To that I gave her a doubtful look as if I couldn't believe her leaving me early, and yes, I couldn't, no matter the reason, I still get an early day leave. So I packed my stuff up, and just as I was about to leave, I called her down to my level, curious. She came down. And when she did, I gave her cheeks a kiss, and I dashed out of the door screaming. That child, just kissing his master and running away. I will punish him later. Shrugging it off, Eleanor walks back inside, not knowing that an unknown tendency within her was awakening. If only Austin knew otherwise, Austin would have thought twice about taking her as his master. Clara, I said that you can call me Austin when we are alone. No buts. Come on, say it. I had barely said the name out loud, but for her efforts, I patted her head as encouragement, which instantly brought a blush on her face. Following behind her was the shy Rika. These two, after coming to the mansion, has been learning from the soldiers for combat. They will even impress my mother. That's good, but I knew better that the Beast Tribe's women would only allow their married husbands to play with their tail. I know that if I asked, they would agree, but I don't want to push the relationship there yet. What's it, Austin? Do you need anything? Oh, you're free today, then why not? I came behind my mother to give her a shoulder massage, but this time there is a difference as my eyes secretly started glowing black and gold mixing together. Yup, I brought the eyes of truth. Description: when the light priest and dark priest had once fought, they discovered their own hidden interest. Together they made this divine spell of light and darkness that can be used to see a woman's weakness. So the red area is more sensitive and the green area is less. Looks like I will have some fun today. Hot towel. Mom didn't think much of it and just agreed to it. Now she was laying in the chair with a towel covering her face. Don't you regret it later, Mom? Red underscore. Oh, God, I want to hear more. Without waiting for her to answer, I started to press my hands on her shoulder and started to move. So good. Red underscore heart. It looks like the sexual tension in my mother's body was larger than I thought. Coming in front of her, I could see that the towel moved a bit, and I saw my mother panting with her eyes up and saliva dripping down her mouth. Then I looked towards her legs and saw some liquid falling down her legs. Mama, you alright? Did my massage hurt? And no, Mother's fine. Just where did you learn such a massage? No, it's fine. Just don't give massages to others now, okay? Now, Austin, why don't you leave? Mother has to deal with something. To think I came from just my son's massage. Am I that horny? With that, Grace closed her eyes, trying to forget what had just happened, while I smirked and walked away. Looks like it really works. A week from now, we would be heading out to the capital for Princess Olivia's coming out ceremony. Bearing the bloodline of the first emperor, she is destined to succeed the throne, having the bearing and beauty of a great leader. She has a secret desire to be used and to be looked down upon by someone, but that in itself is a huge task. Even after you conquer her love, you would have to complete a certain hidden quest to be her master. The difficulty of bringing her masochist side outside is a huge task. With that, she gave a few more instructions and gave us time to prepare. After that, each of us went to our room, each with different thought sits, basically those idle declarations back on Earth where a person makes a debut in front of people. There would be many important people there too. After that, I visited my master to explain about it and to ask for her leave, saying, so I went near her. She placed her hands on my chest and I could feel her energy flowing through me. It's just a seal which will show that you haven't yet awakened your plate. Nodding to her, I gave a kiss on her cheeks and went home, not knowing that my departure just furthered Eleanor's awakening. Oh, well, this must be love I have towards my disciple. Yup, that's all. A week later, the insides looked just like a hotel with dining halls, several rooms, playing area, and space. The trip would be 2 days long. No need, Mother is all better now. You don't need to do such a thing. I dropped my head and became depressed and sad. Like a hurt puppy, I turned to walk away, but my mother caught me and consoled me. Seeing that the room had less light, my mother gave out a sigh. Even if something happens, her son won't be able to see it. Turning around, I gave a command. Looking into her son's innocent eyes, she hesitated at first, but then she later agreed. I stepped out for my mother to get ready while I took out my oil. Description: the oil made by the Caucasian tribe to provide relaxation. Cost $2,000, a bit expensive but useful nonetheless. After a few minutes, I entered the room and saw my mother laying on the bed downwards with her bubbly ass up. Applying the oil on my hands, I activated the spell, and my eyes were golden black. Then I pressed my hands on her back, giving a small notion. The results were already showing. So I went for slow motion, rubbing her back and making her sensitive spots more sensitive, her moaning only increasing. Knowing that she was slowly falling to lust, I activated a small spell, Arcana, which was just a spell for producing invisible things. No, red_art. I looked at her with a smug and anticipating gaze awaiting her praise. She looked towards me, her expression changing. She had just come from her son's hand again while he was just innocently giving her a massage. Her feelings couldn't even be described right now. But it wasn't over yet. So good, red_art. Thank God I can't go hard right now or else. I don't know what might happen. Slowly my hands fall into her ass and sinks into it. Slowly I started caressing her pussy with the invisible hand, and my hands nicely changed her ass's shape. Her moaning was also increasing. Not caring about it, I increased my frequency, and a finger of mine easily entered her asshole while my invisible hand entered her pussy. Mom, you alright? Going at her front, I saw that she had fallen unconscious. I came above her bed, sat on her legs, I raised my hands, and then I hit her ass. I saw it juggle nicely. I gave her ass a few more spanks for my amusement, and then got off her. After that, I cleaned the room and left. So I said her the truth, that I had only massaged her once, and she fainted after that. Hearing it, I could see that Mom let out a sigh. I made it so that she had a dream of her son fingering her and pleasuring her. I am pretty sure that after this, she won't let me massage her, but it's no problem. Then the whole week was used by us to spend time as a family where we played, talked, and slept together. After a week, we finally arrived at the capital city. There was a huge castle the size of a city, its beauty breathtaking. There was an artificial waterfall, and the city itself was a great representation of strength and grandeur. Greeting, Duchess. I hope your journey has been wonderful. My mother replied in a stoic and graceful face, and we all got ourselves into our roles too. My elder sister stood beside my mother as the eldest with a proud front. After that, all of us entered the room. Once inside, we saw a 30-year-old man and a 30-year-old woman. Within it, she had a cold face. Blue-haired, her shoulder and blue eyes that seemed to contain the world. Her face was the perfect definition of beauty. Sex, male species. Human power, origin level 9 love. 78% feeling a bit dispirited because his wife refuses to have sex with him for some unknown reason, so this is the Emperor, huh? Looks like his strength is nothing to scoff at. Sex, female species. Human power, origin level 8 love. 120%. Feelings still unidentified. Her body completely desires you. Her rationality about you disappears with time. Austin. Degree? System, I think you're broken. Nothing wrong? Then what's with this score? Love and hate don't just pop out of nowhere. She's basically screaming for me. Buy. I will buy fast. Give it to me, yes. How can money compare to my life? Points extracted. My bloodline. Are you saying that my bloodline affects her? How? Right now, in the target's eyes, you're the most perfect being. The only person fit for her is you, and only her for you, Austin. Degree. Just what type of bloodline do I carry? What connection do I have with the Empress bloodline? System, can you tell me? Little sis, you look better now. Yeah, I've been recovering recently, and I feel much better now. With that, the Emperor walks up to us and gives each of us pats on our heads. Nora smiles, Eldest shyly nodded, and when he reached me, I looked up to him and smiled. Hearing the Emperor's words, Grace smiled. Somehow the Emperor was feeling a bit of danger from the boy, as if the boy would take something important from. His instincts has always been his lifeblood. We all talked for a while before each of us were led to our own room. It was only tomorrow that the ceremony will start, and it seems Olivia and the others are busy with it. My current appearance was a package of cuteness and a hint of handsome. I was dressed up for the event coming up right now. After dressing me up, the palace maids led me to my family. Next to her stood my little sister Elda, wearing a black one-piece dress, her blob of short silver hair and her shy expression giving her a cute and adorable appearance. My mother said with a teasing smile, to which I responded with a smile. Elda replied with a blush. My elder sister responded. I replied with a smile, to which they all gave a smile back. After this, we headed towards the hall where the event will take place. All of us walked in with a proud and dignified aura. Even the usually shy Elda was walking with seriousness. After all, as a dukedom, we need to show the bearing of one. But not only the guys, but several little girls also had fear eyes scanning me up and down. My serious face attracted the little girls' heartstrings, and my adorable appearance brought a twinkle to the older ones. Several of them came towards me to strike a conversation. I maintained a smile and conversed with them. In a matter of few minutes, they were laughing and happily chatting with me. Following behind them were the princes. There were 3 of them and a little girl of 6-year-old along with them. They came and stood behind the emperor waiting for the star's arrival. Suddenly, there was a ringing of bells and a girl of 10-year-old entered. She was wearing a golden princess-style gown. She had blonde hair and blue eyes aligning with a beautiful face. Name, Olivia Ezrael. Age, 10 talent. 10/10 title. Princess, the inheritor description. She is proud to be born as the princess difficulty. Cess, work hard, that's all. While I was thinking, the ceremony started. Many procedures were done, and in the end the princess gave a speech. After that, many people moved to meet and talk with her. Congrats, cousin. You were really great up there. What happened, princess? Can't remember your cousin after not meeting him for a while? No, it's just that you changed a lot, Austin. While I was walking through the garden, I heard a crying sound, so I moved towards it. Reaching and hiding, I saw a group of boys surrounding and bullying a little girl. That's right, no one wants to see you. Forcing on her, I used the read function name. Emily Hoffman. Age, 8 talent. 9/10 title. None description. As a princess, instead of living a happy life, she's going through a lot. Looks like I am lucky tonight. Her life itself could be said to be a tragedy. She was the princess of a small kingdom. Compared to the empire, the kingdom was nothing, though. But there is a chance for you to awaken your other half. If you are born human, there might be a chance to awaken your elf side, and then be a half-elf, having the advantages of both their species. They would be recruited by everyone, but it had become a small problem when it came to Emily. But none knew that the girl was just biding her time. While she looked normal, her intelligence was off the charts. She was waiting for the moment to strike, and strike she did. She had single-handedly plotted and brought down her kingdom and given her previous family a terrifying death. After that, she stayed in the elf empire just like a good girl. Easy to say, but hard to accomplish. But right now I am dealing with a child, and I am sure that it's going to be much easier to deal with. I hope stop. Having me see them bully someone could be dangerous. At that time, a 12-year-old brown-haired, black-eyed boy moved forward to talk. Don't try to act ignorant. I clearly saw what you did, bullying a girl, and not only your sister. What kind of brother are you? I don't want to hear anything from you. Leaving the fact you were doing something as bullying in the Princess Olivia's party is enough to blacklist your family. Are you all right? Right now, she was sitting on the floor, hiding her face with her hands while only peeking a look at me with her eyes. Even then, she just hid her face.